agree with that. I believe that there's not capital requirements in that system enough that the people involved with it have the discipline to actually manage their risk in a way that works. What is the appropriate thing to do with the frustration? In other words, I can yell and scream on TV all day. It doesn't mean anything, right? You can go to the internet and shoot your mouth off. You can come up with an idea. We should do this. We should do that. Your idea could be wrong. It could have unintended consequences. There's all these issues with ideas and mechanics if they're not in a broader scope with the principles and goals. If the goal and the principles have aligned interest between the financial community and Wall Street and the American economy, where would you begin? Okay, so first, let me comment. What a wonderful country, right? Free speech, the right to assemble. You can protest anything. My question, I would flip it, is what are we really protesting here? We have a free enterprise system in this country. That is the financial underpinning of what we're all about. That is how we create wealth.
Can I answer that question for you? Because
Sure. It's a little speculative on my part, but I don't think it's that much. There is a sense that the free market, the market for innovation, the market for experimentation, the market for opportunity has been rigged by virtue of the relationship between our government and money. And because financial interests are able to exert influence over rulemaking, not just on Wall Street, in healthcare, in energy, with the unions, with education, with whatever it is, that the merits and the principles of the marketplace that you celebrate and that I celebrate is in fact not intact because of the unholy alliance between money and politics.
I think it's unfair. And by the way, sure, are there contributions that are made to politicians, and does it give people access to offices? Perhaps that's true with some politicians. But the fact of the matter is that doesn't destroy the underpinning of our capitalistic system.
It does if there's no capital requirements. It does if the swaps market, which is where they fund everything, has no capital requirements. If I can actually sell insurance and not post any collateral, as AIG did, and collect that money from the government without any risk, that is not a free market.
Oh, so I'm with you. The government shouldn't be handing out money to begin with.
I'm going to get in trouble if I don't get these people in, but it's nice to be talking to you. Go ahead, guys. Jimmy? Or Karen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to respectfully disagree. And I'm going to be
Are you suggesting that I didn't respectfully disagree?
No. You weren't here one time, and I was a little bit disrespectfully disagreeing. Anyway, but, I mean, if you just look at, you have more people living in poverty than ever before. You have more people unemployed than ever before. And yet corporations hoarding cash, people at the top making record amounts of money, the loss of wealth, the disparities in this country getting bigger and bigger as 401ks tank, 401ks that are managed by some of these very companies. I just don't see how we can say the system is working when we are seeing that kind of disparity growing in this country, so that people up here are doing fine, but so many people down here are not. That is not a capitalist society that's working.
So I've been listening all day, and what I hear is that there's wealth at the top and there's less at the bottom, right? And there is a growing disparity. Let me ask you a question, a very basic question. I don't understand it. Isn't our democracy about the ability to create wealth? And by the way, I've seen figures used any which way. Here's the fact of the matter. Corporations today pay 39.2% federal income tax on average. It is the second highest in developed countries around the world. Individuals who are wealthy, I don't mean $200,000 families, I mean over $1 million family incomes. They pay 24.6% of the taxes, federal tax only. When you add to that what they pay to the state, what they pay to the local governments, 50 cents on every dollar goes to taxes.
But the issue is
those people.
But there's a couple of things that come up when you say that. They pay 50% of the money, 50% of the taxes, but control 80% of the money. So if I control 80% of the resources, shouldn't I be responsible for 80% of the costs? Or how is it that I should be able to control 80 to 90% of the resources, but only incur 40 to 50% of the costs? One. Two, you say America has the right to create wealth. Yes. My goodness, yes. Through creating value. Oh, my God, help me, right? But there is a sinister distinction between getting money through extraction, selling insurance that you cannot pay the claims on, and keeping the insurance money, as our insurance companies have done in this country, in the financial community, with the swaps market. Selling or creating assets that do not create value, but in fact extract that value using the tax code, trade, and banking. And the line between the honorable pursuit and the magical American pursuit of value creation and getting rich playing games that has blurred to the point where people all of a sudden are like, well, I'm just against rich people then, or I'm just against poor people, as opposed to the being for or against those who create value. And I think that is where this debate breaks down.
Okay. You are always going to have a bad apple, right? You're always going to.
But we're not in a bad apple. We have a system. We have a system of bad apples right now.
That's not true.
I think
Dylan, that is not at all true.
The swaps market is in a black market.
Wait a minute. What are we trying to do? Create class warfare here? I've been hearing all day. We don't have class warfare in this country.
I just want to insert something here. The theory that we're creating class warfare when you have people that are sitting there holding mortgages that are worth nothing. I don't think that that's class warfare. I think that's a financial product that's not worth crap. And I think that our government let our banking industry sell mortgages to people that should have read the fine print, first and foremost. And secondly, should never have been allowed to have that mortgage to begin with.
I think the government caused it.
I don't disagree with you. Now, my point is this. It's not class warfare.
I don't disagree with you.
It's just bad economic policy.
But there's also nothing wrong with people making money. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem right now, and we have this class, is people don't have jobs. So that's where we really need to focus on.
Well, then I would suggest corporate America should get off $2 trillion in cash and stop laying off 30,000 people. Start hiring 30,000 people.
Unless the government provides some incentives to do that.
So what? So we let Rick Perry and they start hiring